one last time, shall we?
Okay.
Hey, I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Cailee.
And this is the Peanuts Gallery. And today we're talking about Soulmate AUs, which are my favorite AU. They're like the best AU there is.
They are the best AU. They're full of feels that make you go squeak.
Alright, so Cailee, why don't you explain what Soulmate AUs are?
Basically, a Soulmate AU is where you take your OTP and you put them in a universe where your soulmate is decided for you via name. There's countdown, date and time that you meet them, whatever. Regardless of what it is, it's something that you have naturally, that you're just born with, or...
But they're really cool, and I feel like there's a lot of ways you can use them. Like, the basic one is just about when you're like 13 or whatever, you get your soulmate's name like branded on your arm or something, and then you just spend your whole life like looking for the person with that name. Will you actually find that person? Will you find somebody with the same name, but it's not like the right name? Or will you just choose to ignore it and go with whatever you want to do regardless?
And does having a soulmate in that sort of AU take away your free will?
And then the one you suggested was really interesting. What was that one?
It's where only one of the two people has the name. So, for example, Percy and Annabeth is a pretty popular one because almost everyone knows who they are. It would be like Percy has Annabeth's name, but she doesn't have his, or vice versa.
So like only one person of the ship would have the person's name, and like there would be some wishy-washy nonsense as to why only one person would have it, and I don't feel like trying to explain that. But regardless, it would be like one person would feel like they're stuck with it, whereas the other person just can like do whatever they want. But then it's like, if one person is stuck with that other person, isn't that other person stuck with them too? Like, does anyone have free will? And it's kind of a mind bender, Schrodinger's pairing. Oh. But then there's like other ones that I've seen done really well, like the countdown, the timer. There's a movie, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the one where you have like embedded in your arm like the countdown. And I was so disappointed because I clicked on it in Netflix and I was like, this is such a promising premise, and it was awful and terrible, and I was disappointed and went to go look for fanfiction that were better written than the plot line of that movie.
My favorite is Jessica.
Oh yeah, because Nico would be like 80-something before he met his soulmate. When he got it, he'd be like, really?
He'd be like,
really?
What we were talking about before. Like Wally and Artemis from Young Justice.
Or Dick and Barbara from like just general DC universe.
Yeah. If you're just trying to keep it as canon to the character's personality as possible, you know, Dick would still be kind of the charming womanizer. You would think that Barbara would be the one that had his name, and he would be the one without.
If you're talking about like Wally and Artemis, I feel like Wally would be the kind of person who wouldn't care because he didn't believe in fate, because he's the one who's like, I don't believe in magic, I don't believe in anything that I can't touch, feel, understand. And so he would be like, I don't care about it, which would be kind of consistent with the universe of Young Justice, because like for the first whole season he's like, oh, I hate Artemis, I don't like her, he's all swooning over McGann. But like in the end he does end up with her, and I don't know, it's just interesting to think about how their characters would react if it would change how a story would be.
I think it's funny if you're one of those people that ship Light and Elle from Death Note in this, because it would be like Light's trying to find Elle's name and it's just like sitting there on his wrist the whole frickin' time. Just
oh, I don't ship them, but that would
be
hilarious.
Ship them, but that would be so hilarious. Just what an idiot.
If that fanfiction doesn't exist, it needs to exist, and one of you guys needs to work on that. But do you guys have any ideas for Soulmate AUs that you thought were interesting, or do you have any really good Soulmate AU fanfiction that you've read, and what about it made you like it?
Tell us your OTPs, and which ones you would like to see in a Soulmate AU, and why you think that particular OTP would be interesting in a Soulmate AU.
And if there's anything else, any other kind of AU, or any particular ship you want us to talk about in a Soulmate AU, you can leave a comment below.
And we'll go into great detail. I mean, we went over it very briefly with like Dick and Babs and Wally and Artemis. We didn't even bring up our idea for Jason's Soulmate AU just because
that would take forever.
So long.
Because Jason is awesome.
Jason is awesome.
So anyway, we will see you guys next week. Our Social media links are down below, and you can click here.